excellence in sports entertainment.
Pro wrestling talk from the four corners of parts unknown. This is That Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome to That Wrestling Podcast. The good bad guys of wrestling podcasts are back, and we're talking all things of the week that was in professional wrestling. It's a jam-packed show with all four of us together again. Would you look at that? Hey,
so
packed house.
Yes, and I gotta say, I watched last week's show with you guys, and now that I'm back, I'm glad I can say that the show might be better without me than with me. It was really good. You guys did great. However, there was a couple things I was bummed you didn't cover.
We covered a lot.
But you missed out on the biggest return of the week. Bully Ray back to Impact at Bound for Glory. I'm 100% serious.
Yeah, there's a lot of returns.
That, you should have talked more about the biggest free agent signing in AEW history, Renee Paquette. She's the key to mainstream success. And my right hand of destruction is very happy that she is here on AEW.
Wow.
Oh,
I was expecting, because I know at least early on in the pod, Joe took some liberties of you not being there. Like, I think you maybe threw out like a retribution dig, Joe, or something like that.
But I was very nice about it. It's like I didn't go into much detail. And then I realized I'm like, you know what? Let it go.
Okay.
And I will be very nice and not tell you what my wife said about you while watching the podcast. So
about me?
You sure? I kind of want to hear.
and then Kevin.
Yo.
Like, I thought you would talk more. You saw the stacks of containers in my garage with wrestling shirts.
Oh, that
you saw the closet with all the wrestling shirts to prove that I'm not full of shit. Like some people online think that I am. And, I thought Joe and Brian would do a nice callback to find out how Kevin felt when that woman out of the blue hit him with the Go Blue.
I did forget about that.
Yes. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
I don't like
wasn't there, but fuck.
I hear enough of it at work, so I don't it's not a big deal.
Now that the four of us, and specifically Jason and Kevin, are back together, first time since Kevin's family visit to California, is there anything else we've left out to share with our listeners from the trip?
There was Jason's garage is just full of these bins.
What?
No,
it is true. We knew it.
I will actually say, where Jason records, is the corner of his recording room, and he had the closet door open. And of course, if I noticed a figure or anything on, sitting on a shelf, I'm like, ooh, what's in there? And I don't know, it's probably just 8 foot by 4 foot room, but there's figures, on the wall. Figures,
my AEW Chase collection.
Like all on the wall, and the collectible cases, like a closet where you hang clothes, like the rack above it. There's cool stuff. I can't remember what exactly the WCW item was.
No, that was all Impact stuff that I.
Oh, was it? An Impact ring with AJ, right?
Yeah,
was AJ that's right.
The original Impact ring.
It was
so just 6 sides.
6 sides, yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of stuff. It felt like when you go into like I don't want to say it's like a flea market. It's so degrading sounding, but it was like a collectible type storefront. It was very cool. Plus, I will say 2 weeks ago, he did mention might honestly be one of the coolest shirts. He's gonna save it. It is. I saw it.
So we still can't see it or no more.
It might be Twippy worthy. Twippy award winning. That's how great this one is.
Wow.
It's pretty awesome. I felt honored to have seen it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Suspense. A good one.
For
and one other thing too, Kevin, I know you've said it a couple times. Your wife is pretty fucking cool. She's cool to hang out with. I don't want to degrade it by saying she's like one of the guys, but she was just cool. Like there was a time at the brewery where it was just me and her, and it was just cool. So
she did a good job filling in on the picks.
Michelle's
this past
cool
week
as well.
too.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Brett made it very well known.
Yeah. No doubt about it. Well, hey, listen, guys, we're all back together. We got to get it off on the right foot. So what are you wearing?
What are you wearing? What are you wearing? What are you wearing today? What are you wearing? What are you wearing? What are you wearing today?
Jason, welcome back. You may start us off.
So when I went to Chicago, I became friends with the Butcher and the Blade, and I was so excited to see them on Rampage this week. So I got the Butcher, the Blade, and the Bunny from Pro Wrestling Tees. They have a sale coming up. If you're listening to this on Friday, it starts today. 25% off. I expect you all to be buying stuff. Brian, you just sold a car. You can buy a couple new shirts. No more goddamn repeats. So, yeah, make it happen.
If you say you sold a car or stole a car?
This is
sold and sold. I don't know.
You know the repo man.
Then sold it.
This is Detroit. This stuff goes down every day around these parts.
You live in St. Clair Shores.
Yeah. Detroit
Yeah.
vicinity. Yes. Joe, go ahead, my friend.
I'm going with Hangman Page has been drinking shirt. Had a little scare on Tuesday night.
Yes.
So, I only own 2 AEW shirts, and it was the main event from Tuesday's Dynamite. It's Moxley and Page. So I'm going with the guy who had a little scare, but good to hear that everything is okay for now.
Yeah. It seems like he dodged a bullet from something incredibly serious in the moment,
which I'm sure we'll discuss later. But I think this is the first time ever, TWP first, we all have AEW shirts on, not one WWE shirt.
We don't know what Brian has. We don't know what Kevin has. They haven't gone yet. Sure.
I think
way to ruin the bit, Joe.
Well, yeah.
Shut your mouth, Joe. True. Let them do their part.
For the listeners, yes, they just got a spoiler alert. But yes, I am wearing my Brody Lee shirt, and yes, it's an AEW shirt, but I pulled it out because he essentially was name dropped in Bray Wyatt's promo from this past Friday SmackDown, which we're going to get into next. So reason enough to wear that one today. So go ahead, Kev. Is Joe's prophecy fulfilled of an AEW shirt?
It has, and I have a thing, a trend I'm gonna do for the rest of the year. Ooh. Every time MJF does something and we tweet those fucking masterclass or that fucking ruled. Brian did.
I texted that,
and I think I replied back, fucking A right or something like that. Yeah. No, I usually will tie it, to something that's happened recently. That promo with Regal last night was absolutely amazing. We'll get into it in a little bit. I was like flipping through my shirts. I washed them for the first time, like a collection site. I will usually turn them all inside out. I only like washing my wrestling shirts with wrestling shirts because they're a special type of wash. So I had like 20 I
wash.
They can fight in the washing machine. Yeah.
And
the Royal Rumble.
So they have their matches. Yeah.
It's an underwater Royal Rumble.
and MJF came up on top. No, I love the shirt. The promo was so good. I mean, so good. And the dude looks like $1 million. I have a wife. I'm straight as hell, but the dude looks like $1 million. I will say that.
No judgment here, Kev.
It's okay, Kev. You don't have to preface. I literally just said your wife is pretty cool and
quite all right.
but for MJF, I don't know.
Yeah,
you never know.
2 minutes to go. Yes. So let's kick off the week that was of wrestling with the Friday night Bray Wyatt appearance. So he had his reveal, of course, at Extreme Rules. So he was on SmackDown this past Friday, and what we got to see definitely had the wrestling world talking. Bray, he saved it to the end of the show. He has new theme music, comes out with the lantern, proceeds to cut a promo that he says essentially, this is a side of him he's never shown us before. It's just me. He has tears in his eyes. And he's talking about how the last year and a half, he lost his career. He lost 2 close friends. and credited the fans for saving his life. He's then cut off by a video of the mask that he wore at Extreme Rules. The voice saying that his life's over. You have no idea what you're dealing with, but you will. And the show ends. So we're again left with more questions than answers of what is happening. But guys, I want to hear your thoughts of this segment. And along with that, Chris Jericho was asked what he thought of it on Twitter. And he said, quote, "I didn't buy a word of it, and I love it." So give me your thoughts on what you saw. And then do you agree or disagree with Jericho's assessment of it? Because that was a completely different type of promo we've seen from him.
So I think this Uncle Howdy mask is going to be an interesting twist on this whole thing. WWE trademarked Uncle Howdy and Uncle Harper. So that'll be an interesting thing. But for me, there's only one word to describe all of this. Dud.
Oh, no.
Yep. I'm not into it at all. I remember where I was when the Firefly Funhouse debuted. I remember where I was when the Fiend made his debut. This does nothing for me right now. I could be wrong, but dud for me.
Okay, I understand why you said, like, I remember where I was, because Firefly Funhouse debuted after Mania on a Raw, and the Fiend came out at SummerSlam.
No, I remember where I was sitting, exactly where I was.
But it was bigger events, is what I'm saying. It's like, this is a October.
Raw's a regular
event.
TV show.
But it was after Mania.
Doesn't matter. I wasn't in the building.
There's a difference to it.
Nah, dud.
Man, you're such a hater.
What? I'm trying to think here. Like, so what is it that you're not enjoying?
I'm just not enjoying it.
Okay.
See, I'm kind of.
I know you didn't like. You and I were texting when the Extreme Rules reveal happened, and you're like, the characters and the crowd wasn't feeling it. But I thought maybe Friday would have flipped the script a little bit just based on the passion.
I don't need to see the real Bray Wyatt, man. Like, I don't need to see that.
Okay.
I want characters, and if we're gonna get live action Firefly Funhouse puppets, I want that. I don't like the dopey setup of the door.
Okay.
Like it doesn't. I'm not getting it. Right now. It's not doing it for me. Like I said, when the Funhouse debuted, I remember I literally looked at my TV. I'm like, "What the hell did I just watch?"
Yeah,
and I was in. I'm not doing that for this. I'm glad Bray Wyatt is back, but the presentation, the story that normally is what I'm into more than the in-ring action, this isn't working for me right now. And I'm not being a hater, Joe. That's your job.
No, but that's why I said it. It's ironic. I actually am okay with it. I'm glad that it's different, because I think it is different enough. Because I said I didn't want him back, because I would go back to the Firefly Funhouse, and the first thing he did was get a chainsaw and cut the cardboard cutout of Bray Wyatt, Cult Leader of Worlds. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He did the same thing this time with the Firefly Funhouse, because it's now like in storage and dust.
Didn't it burn down?
No, it didn't burn down. It was
I thought somebody burned down the Funhouse.
Randy burned down the Wyatt compound.
Yeah, but I could have sworn somebody did something to the Funhouse.
Oh, you know what? I'd have to go back. I feel like maybe Seth did something, now that I think about it. I'll have to look.
Did he burn it down?
That's something he would do.
That idiot.
He's known for burning
He's
it
known
down.
for that. Oh, but I think I trust in the team behind it. I trust in Bray Wyatt's creativity, and I trust in Triple H. So that's why I'm going to pull the whole, let's just wait and see how it happens. Right now, I'm in the, if I had to give it a grade for his return, I'd probably give it a B. It's not an A. It wasn't a home run. I agree with you on that one, Jason. But I'd give this one a B, because it was different enough where I want to see what happens next.
What about Jericho's comment? Like, when you saw the promo, was that a quote unquote shoot feelings, or is this just part of the show?
If one of us said it, yeah, it makes sense. But a worker is going to know when a worker's working.
Mm-hmm.
And especially
we're not workers.
The ending, right? If it would have just, he would have been there, fade to black, show over, and just him showing emotion. Believable. More believable. but it going, to the new mask. This is the thing. Usually I will DVR SmackDown Saturday mornings. I'll watch it, fast forward through some stuff. I rarely watch SmackDown 100% live, mostly because I'm falling asleep on my chair at about 8:15 at night on Friday nights. This was the first true SmackDown my family watched together in a while.
Aww.
Because that number one contender Intercontinental Championship match had my interest, but I wanted to see how Bray was going to be there. Monday, it teased the Bray, and it was just the rehash from Extreme Rules. He's going to be there on SmackDown. I had to physically see if he was going to be there on SmackDown because I know people were going to talk about it, and I wanted to know what was going to happen. I didn't mind the in-ring. I didn't. I will say it loud and proud. The mic work, I like just as much, if not better, than the in-ring action. It brings me in. It makes me compelled to want to watch. I don't know if I'd give it a B. I'd maybe give it like a B-, just because my expectations were high, right? But for unexpected level, I didn't expect that at all, right? Him coming out there and just being rotunda, right? Next SmackDown, this upcoming Friday, hopefully we see more. It just can't be video package. It's got to be something. If it's him going out there and wrestling with the new demon inside of him, but it's got to progress a little bit quicker just so it doesn't get stale. It's not stale. It won't be stale for several weeks, but it can't do this slow roll since he's actually on camera now. That's the thing.
So because this was such a big deal, I too watched SmackDown Live. But because of Bray, I took a couple edibles. I thought it would enhance everything.
And then I watched it. There.
I thought I would, I'm not a drug guy per se, but like, whatever. It's Friday night. Pop a couple edibles. Legal. It is legal. And I remember I was like, all right. And then the next day I watched it sober and I'm like, okay, it was the dud.
I texted Jay actually during the promo and he responded, "Let me in, man." Couldn't believe it. Listen,
he doesn't like the door.
I thought you were gonna say like, he doesn't like the doors. I'm like, yeah, once you the next day, they're not as good as they are the night
break on through to the other side. I got nowhere else to go. I guess people are.
We're gonna do that. Is this Metallica?
No, stop. I haven't got my thoughts on
next.
Songs, so.
I know, right? No, I really liked it. I loved. First thing I'm dying for is the new song to be on Spotify. It was done by Code Orange, who did the Aleister Black song, and it's epic.
Didn't they do Bray's other song too?
Yes, I think maybe the "Let Me In" version. Yeah, I think they did. I think you're right.
So they're from Pittsburgh, Brian.
They're from Pittsburgh. Yep, which is just an extra bonus point for me. So yeah, love that. I love the emotion. You know what? I think you guys sold me with Jericho saying workers know what is a work. But I didn't know. And that's what I love is that I didn't know. This leaves me with so many questions and I don't know what the next step is going to be because I think we've tried to talk about in the last show or two of like, who do you want to see him feud? And what's right now? It looks like he's feuding with himself. If anybody, there's no one else. It's Bray. It's this weird mask. It's videos. It's QR codes. So I still have a million questions. So I can't, without a definitive opinion say like, this is the greatest. Cause I just don't know where they're going, but I think that's why I really like it. Cause there's just so many questions still. And we'll have to see how it plays out. But I'm all for it. So far, so good. I'm happy it's Bray. I love the return promo. I love that he was, being Bray, being himself. And, I'm ready to see where it goes from here. So we are recording, as I sip my Jacko beer, on a Wednesday night, a rarity for us as Dynamite was bumped to Tuesday due to the baseball playoffs. So for one night only, we had the Tuesday Night War. We had NXT and AEW Dynamite going head to head. Well, unless you are Jay, unless you are Jay, because he gets TNT live, but he gets USA on the West Coast time.
Yeah,
So
that's
they're
weird.
not live. So it's not a war for Jay.
Or for anyone.
In theory, Jay, in theory. Let's talk both shows, though. We'll start with NXT. I thought they could have renamed the show NXT Homecoming Game. We had appearances from Rhea, Finn, Priest, Nakamura, Sonya, Shotzi, Raquel, and Kevin Owens. All NXT alumni in the building. The show was building up to Halloween Havoc, which is this Sunday. Even had an appearance at the end of the summit with Braun Breaker and Dragunov and JD. Austin Theory teasing a Money in the Bank cash in. Guys, what did you make of this homecoming show? There's a lot going on.
I thought it was fun, and this NXT has been on and off. I feel like it's been good. And I hate comparing the past because you can never compare the past to the present, right? Especially because they're trying to build stars.
What do you mean? That's what every wrestling podcast does.
I think that's absolutely fair.
I know.
It's not fair, but it's absolutely what happens.
But it's so tricky because I popped the most when like Shinsuke came out, right? And at first I'm just like, man, such a small place. Like, you know what I mean? And the crowd's just singing the song. Like, it's just those small things. I think Rhea looked larger than life. She's a tall lady, but just her presence in the small place and you know, the whole Judgment Day. Oh, you didn't list off every other Judgment Day member that used to be in NXT too.
Right. They were all there.
But it was I thought it was fun, but then it's just going to be like the top of the roller coaster hill. And then next week it's like, you can't rely on all those guys for the fight when you're going to go against AEW, because they brought in more of the people to fight against the ratings. But I thought it was a solid show.
Jay?
My thing that got me to laugh the hardest was the Chase U segment with Chucky.
Oh, I missed it, but reading the recap, I laughed. So that's how funny that must have been.
Thea Hale makes me laugh. She's from Pittsburgh. She's a Pittsburgh
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she
Nice.
They say she just graduated high school in May. It was like May of 21. So, but anyway, I don't know. I can't remember exactly what it was, but all I know it was like, "Fuck you, Chucky," and they beeped her. And like Chase's eyes were like, you know, normally she doesn't swear.
Right.
And you know, the Chucky appearances through the night were fun. I'm bummed they didn't do one with Breaker. I don't know if they did one last year.
He did do one last year. They did one last year.
I think so.
You know, and with all the people that came back, I get it. I like NXT the way it is. I don't need the guest stars.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens, though, of course, funny. He's like, all right, Kevin, or Sean, I'm going to go because I know what's about to happen. And he just rolls out.
That is funny.
I didn't watch live because I went to bed, and I read Austin Theory. I shut my phone down because I thought maybe he cashed in, but it ended up he just showed up. I mean, that makes sense because there's nothing for him to do on the main roster with that briefcase. So Nakamura wearing the black and yellow jumpsuit, pass. Overall, though, Mandy Rose, what was she wearing? Holy hell!
Not a lot, Jay.
Exactly.
It was like a Borak.
I feel like Kevin.
The black.
I feel like Kevin right now, but goddamn. New hair color.
Borat wishes he looks that good.
Wait, hold up. My desk is raising.
Come on, Kevin. Come on. Wah wah wee wah.
If you're listening, he pretended to have a boner.
Yeah.
It's not pretending. No.
That's a video clip.
Wow.
Joe just shakes his head.
How
Joe,
am I supposed to follow that?
AEW was the competitor.
It's what I got. Only thing I thought of was they have created their own Raw reunion for NXT with current roster. When do they bring all the legends back on Raw? When there's going to be competition that night, whether it be a Monday Night Football game, because it's always like in January, or something big is happening elsewhere, and they need a pop.
Mm-hmm.
And they also need to promote an upcoming event. So long story short, it felt like I was watching a Raw reunion And that's not a bad thing because it's a Raw reunion with people who can still go and we still see every week. So I'm okay with Jason. I agree with you. Don't do it all the time.
Yeah.
Keep it the way it is. But every so often having these guys and gals come back for a reunion on NXT to show their roots, I'm for it.
Taking liberties with the Raw reunion appearances. Who doesn't want to see Sergeant Slaughter give the Cobra clutch for the millionth time to Ali or someone? Oh well, leave the memories alone.
Who doesn't want to see Ron Simmons and JBL in their APA shirts beating up Gable and Otis?
Yeah. No, it was fine. It was what it was. Halloween Havoc is a fun time. It's a fun show, and we'll get into that card. But I did like the theory part, especially because, like you said, Jay, I think I think all he's been doing is Raw is losing, and the cash-in appearance doesn't seem like it would be a thing that would happen with him. So I think this could be a better way to go. So yeah, Sunday
remember, Charlotte won the Women's Royal Rumble and challenged the NXT title. So it's not out of the ordinary.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
For this to be a big deal.
Yeah. Okay. Good point. It hasn't happened with Money in the Bank, but you're right.
But it's happened with the Rumble.
And you know what? That's probably just another Triple H influence of, let's make the NXT brand kind of integrated. And so that could be a piece of it with there. So yeah, let's go over the card on Sunday. We're not going to do a full preview predictions, but we'll kind of go around the horn and just talk about expectations, something you're looking forward to, maybe a result that you want to see out of this card. So we've got Shotzi, and I'm sorry, I didn't write down the name of the other guy who's the host. Did you guys catch who that is?
It's the Super Diva.
Yeah. What's his name?
Big guy.
Big Super Diva. We'll figure it out. Anyway, we got Julius Creed and Damon Kemp in an ambulance match. We got Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade, a weapons.
Stop. I bet we get Gable Steveson.
Oh, it's in my notes. I should share my screen right now.
No.
Go ahead. Go ahead. You say it. So I don't
Damon Kemp is Stevenson's brother.
Yeah.
They brought up that Kemp isn't the best athlete in his own family.
Mm-hmm.
So either we get Stevenson to help his brother or to join Diamond Mine.
And the stipulation of this is if Julius loses, his brother Brutus is gone. So yes, that's exact. It's brothers.
And did you know that they're from Penn? They went to Penn State. Did you know that?
The Creeds?
Yeah.
No, I did not.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Because then they would go to AKA and train with Cormier over the years.
Oh.
Yeah, I saw a clip and I didn't watch it all of like Julius in like a UFC. I don't know if it was like a Contender Series type match or like
I didn't know that.
Thing. I'll look it up. So yeah, we got that. Roxanne, Cora Jade, Weapons Wild match. Mandy Rose, Alba Fire, Apollo Crews, Grayson Waller, North American title ladder match with Carmelo Hayes, Nathan Frazier, Oro, Wesley, and Von Wagner, and the triple threat match for the championship with Braun Dragunov and JD McDonough. Jay, you want to continue on with any other NXT highlights?
Is this Saturday or Sunday? I think it's Saturday.
Sunday.
Right? Oh, it's Sunday?
Let's double check.
I thought it was Saturday because the UFC is on at 11 a.m. my time. That's a pay-per-view.
So they could do a Saturday night.
I thought they would do Saturday night. I might be wrong, but
let's
the card itself, I mean, look, it's an NXT takeover. They never disappoint. Ever.
Saturday.
It's a Saturday show. Great. So they never disappoint. I mean, everyone is better than the last. And all these years later, I still don't know how they do it. I don't. When has there ever been a takeover that wasn't better than the one prior? There hasn't been.
Saturday night. You guys are right. Nice job. Cool. So I'll tell you what.
Cool.
Good time.
For analysis.
No. Well, what my
and you say
analysis
cool
was going to be, and I teased this with you guys before we went on the air. So we did a little thinking about like, well, do we do preview predictions, all this stuff? And I was like, I don't know if it's worthy enough to do all that. And I'll tell you why I came to that conclusion, because even I had to think about it for a little bit. NXT for me, through all the past black and gold years, they were my gold standard as far as what I enjoyed the most out of a wrestling product. NXT 2.0 happens. They change. Okay. Changes. But here's where I'm at with NXT right now. I like it. It's fine. But the reason why I'm not into it where I was, even a year, 2, 3 years ago now, is because the main roster of SmackDown and Raw has improved. And I think that's where my head was like NXT, whether it was the 1 hour tape shows or 2 hours when they went live on USA on Wednesday nights, never let me down. Always loved it. And Raw and SmackDown, some weeks good, some weeks not good. Now Raw is pretty damn good every week, and same with SmackDown. So NXT doesn't have to fill that niche for me of like a quality wrestling program. That makes sense, guys? That's where my head's at with NXT.
Makes 100% sense. I agree. It's like there's nothing wrong with NXT, but Raw and SmackDown have been top of the line.
They've been so good for the last couple of months now. Yeah.
And I mean, we're no longer doing SmackDown was a 2-hour show and there was only 11 minutes of actual wrestling.
Yes. Yeah.
So and it's like 3 hours is just dragging. It's like it's going through fine. So when it's all high quality, we don't need that alternative within the company. It's all good.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's where my head's at with Halloween Havoc. I'm sure I'll watch. I don't know if I'll watch live. We'll see what's going on Saturday. The one result I think I want to see, let's get the title off Mandy Rose. Let's give it to Alba Fire. Let's move Mandy and Toxic Attraction to the main roster. I'm ready for that. They've done so much good stuff in NXT for a long time. Let's move on. Let's get them up to the main roster where they can start kicking ass there. So that's the one thing I'm really rooting for, along with you, Steve, and my Gable Stevenson line, Jay.
And I'll say to piggyback off you, I'd like to see Austin Theory cash in against Braun and Braun to go to the main roster. Change it up a little bit up top. And the only bad thing is,
what's he going to do on the main roster?
Braun might need a manager on that main roster to talk.
Well, that's awfully.
We might get.
That's awfully foreshadowing.
Let me write that down on my Post-it.
Don't be obvious, Kevin.
Joe, was there anything else that NXT wise that you need to throw out to everybody?
I would like to see Braun lose the title and get moved up. Toxic Attraction, definitely, but I don't know what show they would fit more on. I think SmackDown because, the thing is, you got Damage Control who can go on both shows.
Yeah, they have been.
And Toxic Attraction is a heel group. You can't bring them up and make them the face. And Damage Control is a heel group as well. They're too similar to ever cross paths. So I would say if they get called up, it would have to be SmackDown exclusive. I think they're in more need of women than Raw.
They need let Toxic Attraction be the Mean Girls Club.
Yep.
Not by name, but just, in theory.
But isn't that what they're trying to do with Damage Control?
Damage Control's trash.
Oh, it's so bad.
But they're the Mean Girls.
It is so bad. No, they suck.
I'm not saying they don't.
It's Bailey and two chicks that are should just be happy to be there.
Remember when we were excited in Nashville?
I was excited to see them, but then they talked.
So is that Bailey's fault then? Because she's the one who does the most talking.
The problem is they have Io's guy who barely speaks English. That's a problem.
Yeah. They do the translation gig with her where Bailey will be like, yeah, Io says, ba, 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 ba.
Man.
Is the problem that Bailey's just so much higher than they are, and that's why it's like
it's Liv Morgan syndrome all over again. She talked herself out of being good. Damage Control talk themselves out of being good. The awkward. Here, you have the mic. No, here, you pass the mic.
Okay.
Oh, they can't have 3 mics? Like, what the fuck?
EO just needs to put on a trash can, jump off the top of the cell.
Problem solved.
This is the one thing. Like Dakota has always been, like kind of like the little leaguer compared to a home run hitter in a group. I think EO. I loved EO in NXT. And I hate it that I find her stale on the main roster.
Say it, Joe.
That's what I hate.
Joe, say what you want, Joe. Say it. Do it.
No, I'm not going to say
Come on.
new and fresh. She needs to be new and fresh.
I want her to be old and stale.
I thought you want your tag team dream match.
Are you talking about
come on.
Asukai?
That's what
Yes.
we're
I've
talking
been
about.
up on because I haven't seen Asuka in a while.
Yes.
She got beat up by Damage
I would
Control.
like to see Asuka, yes, but it's like I'd
Okay.
also like to see them new and fresh, and they're not. Like my wife, who barely watches, still calls her Io Shirai.
Yeah.
They could
And
be
Corey
Oscar
did
as a
too.
3-man unit.
Asuka,
As a 3-man unit.
Asukai Rai.
There's a lot going on there.
They dump Bailey, and Damage Control becomes Asuka Rai. Make it happen.
Rolls off the tongue.
It doesn't
No.
It doesn't. No.
at all.
Next. Move on.
Yeah. Let's talk about Dynamite then. Highlights, the promo, MJF and Regal. We'll get into that. The scramble to finish the show. Hangman, as it came out, that this was a shoot. He had a concussion in the main event, and they had to do a scramble. They were going over the card, and they were not showing what was happening in the ring. And then eventually Mox calls out MJF, who teases a cash in, but then says he wants Mox at 100%. We're going to do this at full gear. So those were kind of my biggest takeaways from the show. Kev, I'll let you start because I know the promo, MJF and Regal, your takeaways from that.
One before I get into that, one small thing I
Can't
thought
you
was
see
funny.
the guy was like coughing his ass off there, Brian?
No, I'm
He
I'm
can't.
trying
How
notes.
red his face is. He can't
I'm
even
trying to
talk.
go. I'm trying to go in and off mute. Like
So the guy who can't breathe, we'll go to you first.
That's on me, fellas. I'm sorry. That's on me.
One small point I thought was really funny. Earlier in the night when Orange Cassidy came down, had the belt in the backpack,
One strapping
shoulder
it, too.
strapped it.
One strapping it.
I thought that was kind of funny. That match was pretty decent as a trios match, but yeah, overall, by the way, I thought a really strong AEW show. I thought
Just
it
the
very,
women's
very
match.
strong. That was weird.
At this point, we don't even have to say it. At this point,
Can Rio get any like sticklier? I thought like,
and her is the run-in to
is
save.
like- Yeah.
That's
yeah,
what I feel like when she's running down the ramp.
It was weird, man. It was so weird. It was bad. But yeah, that every time we get a fire promo from MJF, I always think, how will you outdo yourself? Right. In the Regal thing, talking about the email, he's 19, going to Regal. And then I was like, oh gosh, how's this going to go? Because Regal's always so good, right, on the mic. And then he starts off and I'm just like, ooh, is this going to be pretty bad? But then Regal starts hitting some steam, saying some zingers, and you could just see it in MJF's eyes. And I'm just like, okay, this is money. This is really, really good. When Regal turned around and, you see MJF put on the ring, like, are you going to hit him? Are you going to hit him? It was just so good. And like, I was flipping back and forth. This is the junkie thing. And I missed the beginning of the promo. So I had to go back and rewind. So I didn't see it like live. So when I saw Brian's text, I'm like, oh gosh, this has to be really, really good. It has to be good. Cause I was about, 2 to 3 minutes behind. But holy crap, man. It was awesome. And that is the main reason why you got the, what are you wearing shirt of the week?
Yeah, the line. I mean, there's a lot of lines.
Yeah.
But, the one that just was like, I don't know what it did to me, but it made me go like, Jesus, was good. But he says, "I'm the guy that your former employer would be willing to take several human lives simply to get me to put pen to paper in the bidding war of 2024. What a line that is. And it's another one kind of similar to the discussion we had about Bray and his promo content about his feelings. Was that all true? Was that all legit? We know he's did WWE extra work. There's the famous scene of him in NXT and Samoa Joe chucks him down the hallway with the championship. So is that all true? I don't know, but he makes it so compelling with just his delivery. And like you said, yeah, Regal gave it back when he threw out there of just being a wrestler at age 16 and 17 and bleeding and he not quitting and basically, saying when MJF said that email made him want to kill himself, and Regal came back with, if that email made you that upset, you've had it easy. God damn. And guys, I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but MJF is a face now to the crowd.
Oh yeah,
he's just too good. He's too good that the crowd loves him.
Cincinnati.
And Regal was getting booed when he started to get talked, when he started to take his part on the microphone. It's just whether he wants it or not, it's the crowd is making it happen, and we'll see if they ride it out or not.
It's organic with the crowd.
Yes, it completely.
That's
well, and the fact that MJF is doing some face things. He's going on more podcasts now than ever. He's advertising more things than ever. He tweeted well wishes to Hangman, and then once Hangman was okay, he's like, "Oh, I wish I wouldn't have done that."
Yeah,
he's doing more visible things than ever.
Yeah.
So look, who cares if he's a face? Who cares if he's a heel? I mean, Full Gear is in San Jose,
New Jersey.
Is it?
Yeah, I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure.
I think it's on the West Coast. I'll check right now, but
let's find out.
How far away, if it is in San Jose, how far is that from you?
That's about 7 hours, but
that's a lot.
I think it's the
Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. So, New Jersey, New York City, that's a stone's throw away. He will have the crowd.
Oh, shit. Yeah, that's an old one. I got the first Full Gear.
Okay.
I could have swore they were doing something here. Maybe not. But, okay, New Jersey. New York. He's going to win.
Yeah.
And he's going to get cheered. And it's, going to be... I just don't know how long it'll go. Like, I'm sure he'll twist it and turn it around and make them hate him again. A lot of people think that with the firing of Ace Steel, mentioning of the Elite on Dynamite, that we might be getting the return of those in the Brawl for All, which could mean Phil Brooks could be returning. Maybe not. Who knows? You just have to wait and see. And I am one that CM Punk just needs to go away. I don't want him back. I feel like he brings the room down.
Yeah.
And I think now he will really bring the room down.
Jay, do you have your retweet of MJF with Ken Jeong? Do you have that?
Oh, yeah. He made fun of Ken Jeong just tweeted MJF.
Yeah.
You guys know who Ken Jeong is, right? Brian?
Yeah, from The Hangover. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So, Ken Jeong just retweeted about MJF. It just literally says hashtag MJF.
Yeah.
MJF responds with, "Suck on my kosher nuts, Mr. Chow."
I laughed at that, Mr. Chow. Yeah. So he's still doing his heel thing, but boy, it's just everybody's all about him. And
by the way,
so
Newark, New Jersey to MJF's hometown of Plainview, New York, 48 miles.
So maybe an hour. Yeah.
Home game.
I gotta say, this is not going to be popular. I thought his promo was MID.
Oh my!
I thought it was mid.
What's the more shocking moment? Jason hating on Bray, or you hating on the promo?
I thought he was playing the hits.
Oh, Joe hating is expected.
No,
so, I mean,
but hear me out, because I actually
according
thought
to my
about
wife,
this, and I'm just a hater. Thanks. Thanks, Michelle. Love you.
She said it, not me.
I'm just being like looking at it through an objective eye. I thought Regal saved it. Anytime Regal calls someone sunshine, I'm sold.
Sunshine
But
was there.
he also said that he brought up his upbringing and it goes a generational gap. But enough about Regal. Like Regal saved it for me. I felt like MJF was redoing his promo with CM Punk about when CM Punk retired. And he talked about
bullied,
how he was bullied. And like, is it true? Is it true? Like Punk came out. I felt like I almost called him CM Punk because it was very similar to CM Punk bringing the room down. If MJF keeps doing the same type of promo every so often, it's going to turn into another Punk pipe bomb type of thing. I think Regal was really on point with the whole, like, we got to get you past this level. And he's going to win. I totally 100% agree with you. But I felt like that promo and even bringing up the email was forced. It was mid.
Wow.
Regal, you're mid, Joe.
People think that, and I'm fine with that. It doesn't affect me. But the problem is, I'm also
anyway.
I'm not seen by millions of people. And if I was,
thousands.
I would try
you are
to
seen by thousands.
Expand. Yeah, that's nice. Thank you all very much. But the point is, you gotta really think about this now. It's like there's so much MJF love, but it's the same amount of love that happened back in like March when it was him and CM Punk with the same promo. It was the same promo.
Okay. I'm hearing your point. Yeah, maybe it's just in the delivery. It
was the same emotion too.
Yeah.
The theme of both. I mean, maybe this is the teacher in me. I don't know. Sure. But I was looking at the theme of both. It was all about proving youth mistakes wrong. Stepping up to your heroes, people that you looked up with. It was the same theme for both of them. That's why I considered it mid.
Yeah. Other AEW news, Jon Moxley, new 5-year contract. We also got Chris Jericho announced just the other day, a new 3-year contract. So 2 of the guys that were there from really day one of AEW have been locked in now for the foreseeable future. Guys, I mean,
no brainer.
Everybody can do what they want to do, right? Yeah.
You had to have those 2.
Both of them.
They were the ones that cleaned up the mess from All Out.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
Yep. No, good moves all around there. Other AEW related news. Tony Khan says that we should have great news soon about a Ring of Honor weekly show in 2023. Ring of Honor has been really heavily focused on Dynamite and Rampage lately. A lot of Ring of Honor, and I'll be honest, frankly, it's annoying me. I'm kind of done with this Ring of Honor that's not Ring of Honor because it's on AEW programming. So maybe this will be good for 2023. Guys, what would be your ideal format for day, time, and length for a weekly Ring of Honor show?
If it's regular TV, it's got to be 1 hour.
Regular TV.
If it's streaming, 2 hours is fine.
Okay.
I don't care where. I don't care when. I don't care about this segment. Much like you don't care about Ring of Honor on AEW.
True.
No, actually, I do think that it has to be streaming. It has to be.
I would like it on Saturday night on my local ABC affiliate, like the original Ring of Honor was. That's what I would like.
Back in
because
syndication.
It would be pure.
Yeah. Kev, do you have one of this? No, he
doesn't care.
All right, good times.
No, I don't
care. Jay, you might have a little issue with this, but I mean, maybe you don't. And that's fine too. Thursday night at 8:00. Impact is on, I think, at that same time, right?
Impact is on at
8
o'clock.
AEW can say, we know Tony Khan does not want to ever go head to head on Mondays because of football, because of the Jaguar connection.
I never even thought of that until right now.
I didn't either.
Yeah, no, he said that. He goes, well, we'll never go live on Monday.
Are the Jaguars ever on Monday night?
Yeah, have they ever been on Monday
They
night?
suck.
No, they haven't. But that's what he said. And
But what if the
the year
Jaguars go
after
on
the-
Thursday night football?
Well, Thursday night football
That's fair.
sucks, period.
That's fair. But there's only one game. So, well, I guess Monday Night Football is one game. So, all right, maybe that scraps my thing. But I had it on TBS or True TV. It can't be on TNT because the basketball's on Thursday nights at 8 on TNT. So that would be my ideal show. But listen,
Realistically, I think it'll be a weekend show. I don't think it'll be a weeknight. Tony Khan has a working relationship with Impact. So
right. So there's that.
I don't know if he
out?
wants to burn that bridge,
Mhm.
but I think a weekend makes sense.
So you want it Saturdays at 6:05 on TBS?
Absolutely not. I would
it.
prefer a Saturday morning wrestling.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Because Ring of Honor is not PG-13. Like it's about
you
wrestling.
could get away with Ring of Honor being early.
10 a.m. Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Or put it one step closer to, joining HBO Max. So it's just streaming there. Put the big pay-per-views, charge me $50 a year. Good to go.
I find it, looking at the ratings for like Rampage and, Friday night at 10 o'clock isn't a great time slot, but I'm just having a struggle to think like how Ring of Honor would do as good, if not better. So I don't see how it's going to work.
It has to be pre-taped too. It can't be live.
Yeah. You'd have to have pre-tape.
So is it going to be on their YouTube channel? Like, Dark?
Yeah.
Well, Impact.
I wouldn't think so, but
Impact airs at 8 o'clock on Thursdays, and then it's on their YouTube channel immediately after, and it's on Impact Plus immediately after. With the Ring of Honor library, who's to say Tony just doesn't make a Ring of Honor network? It's a streaming app.
Okay.
All that footage of all the biggest stars.
Yeah. They're going to have to do something out of the box to get me to care, I think.
And I'm actually surprised this conversation has gone this long.
Yeah.
Next.
Other show news. It looks as though the WWE Day One pay-per-view is not happening this year. It's not officially official, but everybody seems to say that's what's the case. And in a related story, WWE is rumored to be restructuring the premium live events for 2023, starting with no Day One. So if that is the case, there will be no premium live event between Survivor Series on November 26th and the Royal Rumble on January 28th, just over 2 months. The Wrestling Observer's Brian Alvarez adds there will likely be more international shows and likely less gimmick shows. If that is the case, then we'll see less shows such as Extreme Rules or Hell in a Cell. There is, thinking that maybe these shows are going to make them be more quote unquote major, feel big. Kind of started with the Clash at the Castle show in Cardiff. Yeah. Guys, if we're not getting PLEs every month, would that bother you? Is there one of the quote unquote gimmick PLEs that you would want to save if there is one? Joe, you can start.
The only gimmick premium live event, which is now kind of a major, is Money in the Bank. That's the only one that's worth saving. Everything else, I liked Clash at the Castle. I'm actually starting to like Crown Jewel because they're making it kind of it's no longer a glorified house show.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm okay with nothing happening from Survivor Series to the Royal Rumble. Build up the television shows, make those seem important again, which they are doing. So Day One, it has a legacy of Great Balls of Fire. It was a one and done.
Now, Money in the Bank, I agree with you there. It would be nice if we saw it occasionally again at Mania. Since Mania will be exactly bring it back. Have one, say women's Money in the Bank one night, men's the other night.
You could do that, yeah,
and
that could work.
And if float in Hell in the Cell on a special, you know what I mean, type thing. If they're gonna go all in. Like it sounds like it, not part Day One ish, right? Is it going to go away?
Nice.
You got to get rid of them all, but you got to sprinkle it in. You can't just say Hell in the Cell. Sweet. 6 months later, Hell in the Cell. You know what I mean? That was the best part about it back in the day when it really wasn't very often, and then kind of got stale, right?
It was the
They
end
wanna
of
make
a
it-
feud.
Yeah, they
That's
want to
what
make
Hell
it
in a Cell was.
shiny.
Then it
They
became
wanna make it
every
shiny
year
again.
the Hell in the Cell pay-per-view, but that's not what it should be.
Give me one that's like bragging rights, a Jace. That it happens every year. I don't even know anymore.
Extreme Rules.
Okay, yeah. Extreme Rules should become Evolution, a women's pay-per-view.
Oh, bring Evolution back. Okay.
And then give me 6 pay-per-views a year.
Yeah.
They don't need to be every month. Give me 6. So it'd be the 4 big ones, Evolution, and Money in the Bank.
There's your 6.
I already paid for
I like
Peacock
that.
for the year, so I mean they already have my money for the next 12 months. So who cares?
Yeah. I would love for them to, the one show I've hated from the get-go is I think what has been called Fastlane.
Did they do that still?
Yeah.
Yeah, the in between Rumble and Mania.
Yeah. And it's always
I thought that was Hell in the Cell.
I thought
No, that's in
Fastlane was
October.
before, I thought Fastlane was between. I thought that was the December pay-per-view between Survivor Series and Rumble. You're
Who
on the
was Great Balls
Fastlane
of
to the
Fire?
Royal Rumble. Great Falls of
I thought it was
Fire
always
was
the
a
Fast.
December.
I thought it was always
Fastlane
the
to
Fastlane
Mania.
or
Yeah.
Fastlane Roadblock. It was called one year.
Roadblock. Oh, my
Jesus
God.
Christ. Yeah.
That
Next.
should be fun. Yeah.
I could actually do without WrestleMania Backlash.
Yeah.
I don't
Get
need
rid
to
of
see.
that.
I don't need to see a
Okay.
rerun.
Rematches.
Yeah. It's the rematch of Mania. Yeah. I'm fine
Yeah.
with that.
And it's always been that when it was called just Backlash. It was always just the rematches. We don't need to see a rerun.
But
Well,
what
you might
about
still get it because it's not a gimmick premium live event.
It's a gimmick though because it's all the backlash from
But
Mania.
then the all women's is a gimmick. I think gimmick they mean thing in ring special matches.
maybe? Yeah. I mean, this isn't officially official. This is just the word on the street. We're
Oh,
talking
does that mean we're not
about
going to get any more Punjabi prison matches?
as
Damn, that
long as
great
Kali
Kali
stays
return.
off my TV. Yeah.
So Brian, I don't think we talked about this publicly.
Okay.
You know, you lost your Rage Against the Machine concert.
Ugh.
Does that mean you and Bruce the Barber are coming to my house for WrestleMania this year in LA?
It does not officially mean that, but the odds have increased
Oh,
correctly.
May
Yes.
the odds
Hopefully
forever
so.
be in your favor.
Yeah.
all right.
Thanks a lot,
Nice.
Zach, for tearing your Achilles or whatever the
Nice.
rumored.
Well, Kevin can attest. We've got
yes.
plenty of space. So
Well, that's good. I like space. Yeah, I was gonna say. By the way, so we don't want backlash, but do we want to keep payback, or do we get rid of
payback?
payback lash? My
No.
favorite
Payback
combining
lash.
of the two.
Payback
Payback lash.
Or maybe that becomes one of the 6.
That's what it. Yes, exactly. We're gonna get rid of backlash. We're
They
gonna
just
get rid of payback.
they just combine names and make
Exactly.
them.
Problem solved. That's your 6.
That's
All
just
right.
7. We'll do a 7.
Extreme in a cell.
Yeah. That's how we do
Hell
it.
rules.
All right. So we didn't really get to talk about Monday Night Raw. There's, as I said, just a lot of stuff going on this week. But one of the big newsworthy things that come out of Raw this past week was JBL showed up. And last time we'd seen him, he had a little brief cameo on SmackDown where he kind of chastised Baron Corbin and said, "Get in." And so sure enough, he came out. He cut a promo on all things Texas because they were in Oklahoma doing the heel shtick that he does, and brought out Baron Corbin. Who here liked Baron Corbin's new gear?
I didn't like that it was skin colored.
No,
Yeah.
it was horrible. Put back the waiter shirt on that he had when he was that, like when he was the waiter from the restaurants. Like, what was that?
And they changed his name again. He's no longer happy. He's
no
just
longer
Baron
happy.
again.
That's fine. That's fine with me. So that's the inspiration. We'll see how it goes, but that's the inspiration for this week's 5 count, which is 5 retired wrestlers we want to manage current wrestlers.
That Wrestling Podcast presents the 5 count.
Okay, so there was a little communication unclarity for this week. So as of recording time, Joe and Kevin were jotting down names on sticky notes. Gentlemen, are you ready? Like, are you prepared? Or okay,
I'll go first to give you guys a few more minutes.
There you go.
I'm ready.
All right,
we're live.
Number 5, Marty Jannetty will manage Dolph Ziggler.
That's fun.
Number 4, Triple H manages Cody.
Ooh, I like that.
Number 3, Heath Slater manages Nathan Frazier. They can do the father-son angle.
Oh my God, they do
because they look alike.
That's great.
Number 2, because Bret Hart is a salty bitch, Goldberg manages FTR. I don't know if you saw today, Bret Hart came out and said that they should take Goldberg out of the Hall of Fame. Because he got into the Hall of Fame because he hurt
Goldberg.
People. Yeah,
it's the yearly Goldberg hate.
I'm done with Bret Hart.
Every other week with Bret Hart.
And finally, number 1. This will blow the internet up. Turn the wrestlers mega heel. The Young Bucks, managed by Jim Cornette.
Oh, wow.
That's good. That's
How
good.
much money
Great
is
job.
thrown at all of them to work together?
That would be amazing.
All of it.
All of it. All like Dan Housen said, they need all the money.
All the money. All right. What one of you two on the fly jabronis may go with your notes?
I'll go.
All right.
Number 5, when Gableson officially makes his debut.
His name's Gable Stevenson, but whatever.
Oh, wow. You see?
Did you just do a pay backlash with Gable Stevenson? Did you just combine his name?
It's Stevenson, Brian, not Stevenson.
Okay. Is Vince in charge again? Is that his new name? Gableson.
Managed with, and this is when he debuts, right? He's going to have to get a lot more talented, but managed by Angle, and they do a huge leading up, like, this is how you do this wrestling hold. This is how you do this wrestling, and show that he's green, but too much talking on my end. Turn Ricochet heel, MVP, get him over to SmackDown. Ricochet, he's gotten so much better on the mic, and that in him being in that 4-way IC match, if the dude could only talk. Geez, if he only could talk. So I got MVP because MVP can talk. No reason why. Riddle, sometimes I feel that it's a struggle on the mic one. at times. And fresh off the DX bringing reunion. I don't know. I thought X-Pac for some reason. I have no rhyme or reason. Absolutely no rhyme or reason. I just want to see.
I thought you were going RVD there. I thought you were Rob Van Dam with the 420.
RVD would have been.
Yeah,
I was thinking Road Dogg.
Damn good too.
If you're going talkers, Road Dogg.
You know, X-Pac wants to smoke your ass. So I mean,
that's true. That's a good connection.
Braun Breaker, main roster. Bring Papa and
Uncle. Come on.
And then number 1, Dexter Loomis. Don't want to hear him talk. Let's bring back the original stalker, DDP, to be his.
That could be fun.
Yeah, that's good.
All right. Joe, you mind if I go next?
Go ahead.
So this one actually did happen, but it was only for like a month. So I say it's in the statute of limitations to bring it back. Ted DiBiase managed Cameron Grimes. Come on, that pairing was fantastic. Mm-hmm. Let's bring that back. That's my number 5. My number 4, he wouldn't do it. But how about The Rock manages Montez Ford? They've had those connections where The Rock's praised Montez and he can kind of get him over the top to the next level. Of course, The Rock won't do it. Number 3, I went with the AEW one on this one. How about Mark Henry? And how about he manage Will Hobbs? Will Hobbs is a guy with a powerhouse Hobbs, a lot of potential. He's kind of, on one week that you don't see him for a month. So let's get Mark Henry. Let's show him that he's got a lot left in the tank. And he's my number 3. My number 2, How about bring back Teddy Long? He's going to manage Carmelo Hayes.
Well, he's blocked everybody on Twitter. I don't know if you saw that.
I think
he went on this like big Twitter blocking spree.
I think Teddy got hacked, is what he
did.
And now there's a shirt. That says you
I
just
got blocked.
player.
Yeah. So yeah, Teddy can block the haters from Carmelo Hayes. I love everything about him. My number one, and I shared this I think on Friday SmackDown on my Twitter, because they just look alike. AJ Lee would manage Roxanne Perez.
Or Cora Jade. They all look the same.
Corey.
I said if you squint, you kind of look and go, huh? So. So I could definitely see that. That's my number one.
All right. I'll go with mine. Good list there, Brian, and all three of you. So my number 5 was the same one as Kevin, but I'm gonna actually say the name right. Kurt Angle and Gable Steveson.
Yeah,
not Gabeson. Gableson, not Gableson. Gableson. Yeah, I said Angle and Steveson. I think that what we've heard, we're not there, but he needs a talker. So Angle is the one to do that. They're both gold medalists. Number 5, speaking of talkers, I want anti-talkers for this one. I want Omos to get a new manager, the Great Khali.
Oh,
I want to see those two
with
together.
Veer and Shanky as the muscle.
Yes, that would be a great. That'd be the greatest stable ever.
the what chance would be everywhere.
What did this show?
But they would be saying what, not to annoy him, but they're going to be saying what to be like. What are you saying? What?
Yeah, in literal.
What?
I don't know what you're saying. Yes.
Yeah,
And then we can get
literal,
the
not
drive
figurative.
along. The drive along show.
The ride along.
Oh my god,
of those two.
You know what? I think I should just stop there. That was my number 1. Number 3, I got Austin Theory and Bret Hart. I see him actually with someone younger to you got it, but you need that next step. I mean, Austin can talk, but he also can play the heel and the face at the same time, I think. He's got potential. Bret's the best there is, best there was, the best there ever will be. I typically don't ever want to see Bret a lot on TV, but so's Austin now that Daddy's gone.
Not bitter.
All right. Number 2.
This
is just for eye candy. Liv Morgan managed by Tori Wilson.
Okay.
And number 1
argument for me.
And I knew that was for you, Brian. And
Thanks.
number 1 is I just see so much. I see they're both so much alike, and I'm a fan of both guys. Damian Priest leaves the Judgment Day and gets managed by Kevin Nash. To see Kevin Nash on TV every week is a win.
Okay. Like that.
But my real number 1 is the Great Khali and Omos. That's the new number 1.
Yeah. We're switching it up here.
What?
Last minute. Love it. All right. That's this week's 5 count.
Who made your 5 count? Let us know on social media using the hashtag TWP5count.
All right, before we say goodbye for this week, a quick update on the picks. So Harper's got a bit of a hot streak, guys. 3-0 week, wins by the Giants, the Bills, and the Eagles. Brett, 2-1. The one game they had head-to-head was Brett had the Ravens over the Giants. So look at that. Harper's now up 2 games, 11-7. Brett, again, 9-9, 2 games, still anybody's game. Guys, please tell me you popped with Harper's voice altered, acknowledge me. Did you not see it, Jay?
He's pretending to be frozen.
He's frozen. He's not frozen.
I thought I was like, is he frozen? Then I saw.
Don't work me, bro. Don't work me.
I didn't watch.
All right. Well, luckily we have the power of the internet. I'm pulling up the picks.
No, we don't. No, we got.
I'll do that off the air. Okay.
After dark.
Yes. Kevin, will you be back for this week's picks? Do you think?
Yeah.
Or okay.
I'm reinstated.
Laura did a great job. Definitely held her own. But we'll get you back in there. We'll have Kevin and I kind of mapped it out. We'll have this week. We'll have the special Halloween weekend episode next week, and then I think the kids are going to go on their bye week. So look for that coming up on the That Wrestling Podcast Facebook page. Any other things we got to do before we say goodbye, guys, and do the usual plugs?
You want to try to do the handshake?
only on weeks where Sammy and was it Jimmy or Jay now?
One of
Jimmy,
them.
Jay hates him.
Yeah, Jay hates. I was drawing a blank. Yeah,
Oh,
only on the
man.
weeks that Sammy and Jimmy do it, then we can try to do it. So I think we're off for this week. All right, youtube.com/That Wrestling Podcast. Of course, at That WrestlePod for all things social, and whatamaneuver.net for your That Wrestling Podcast merchandise. Hey, enjoy Halloween Havoc on Saturday. Enjoy wrestling. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks for listening. Follow That WrestlePod on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube.
1, 2, 3, that's it!
Thanks for watching That Wrestling Podcast on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And for more That Wrestling Podcast content, follow at That WrestlePod on social media.